Hey everybody, welcome to T-Roy Cooks. I appreciate you joining. In this past year, I've moved to New Mexico and got a new home, and I've just been busy with family and trying to get the home the way that me and the wife want it. And also, I wanted to let you know I got rid of all of my cookers that I had in Austin, all of them except for my Weber Smoky Mountains and my Weber kettles. The only thing that I kept were my Weber cookers. Everything else I gave away to friends or friends of friends who had YouTube channels or who were doing catering and stuff and needed a good cooker. I just gave them my cookers. So I'm starting over except for my Weber equipment. Recently, I talked to Chris over at Lone Star Grillz and I ordered a 24 by 40 inch offset smoker. Folks, it came in a couple of weeks ago. Yesterday I finally had the chance to coat the inside of it with some cooking spray and season it up real well on the inside with oil. And then I did a 6-hour cook at about 200 to 225 to kind of cure that paint, because you really have to cure that paint when you get it from Lone Star Grillz. Once it's cured, it handles up to about 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. So really good paint. I think it's coated on the inside good enough. I think it's cured the paint since that cook yesterday. And I didn't put any meat on it yesterday on that burn-in cook, and you're curing the paint. You don't want any food on it. You just want to heat the pit up for a good 4 to 6 hours at about 200, 225 to cure the paint mainly. So usually the first cook on an offset isn't that great because it doesn't have a lot of seasoning on the inside. Sometimes your temps may fluctuate greatly because, again, you don't have that seasoning on the inside yet. So today's first cook, I'm doing some chicken breasts for you. Just throwing them on there, see how they come out. In the meantime, I'm gonna show you this new cooker. It's custom, folks, and it's cool. Check this out.
T-Roy's chilling in the backyard grilling, cooking up some barbecue for you. T-Roy's chilling in the backyard grilling, showing you that you can cook it too. Always with a beer or whiskey, but he cooks responsibly.
Alright, I know my head's not in the shot, but basically I just wanted you to see the cooker. I'm going to start with the firebox end and show you what all we got in there and then work my way all the way to the stack. So let's start over here. Alright, first off, this firebox, it is upgraded to the 1/2 inch steel. It's got the cool touch handles for this. This is your intake vent. Usually cook with it about, not a quarter, but maybe 1/8 of the way open. All right, I've already got it preloaded with some wood. Now this came with the way I ordered it. I ordered it with the stainless steel grates. So I have a stainless steel grate that can go right here. I've got this. I don't know what you call it. It's a V shape, and it holds the wood or charcoal, and it'll kind of let the wood burn evenly. But I do have the 1/2 inch stainless steel grate down there for the wood, and also another one. They sent me a second one, which I'm not sure why. They had this second one that's just like this one on the very bottom, but I found it was hard to scrape out the ash when I was cleaning it yesterday after the burning. So I just took that grate and put it up here, and I've still got the stainless steel grate I can put up here if I need to cook on something. Up here, you got a flat piece of metal right here which you can cook on. I've actually done it on my Lone Star Grillz 20 by 42 that I gave to my brother James over there in Clement, or now Texas Made Smokers is his channel on YouTube. Anyway, it's got a handle here. You can pull this baby out, and if you pull this out, you can grill stuff directly over wood. And again, I've got that it's a stainless steel cooking grate that I can put down in there. Otherwise, this is a flat top griddle right here. Let me show you the other parts over here. Alright, of course I had to get this nameplate on there. Actually didn't ask for this. I asked them for it on my smaller Lone Star grill, but Chris just threw this in there for me, so thanks Chris, appreciate that. I got a stainless steel table this time, which is really cool, and you can let this down if you need to. Also opted to get the propane fire assist. So I've got propane hookup down here that'll light my logs if I hook a propane tank up to it. Also have, I know you can't really see unless I do this, Probably can't see it, but down there is a little ball valve. Otherwise, the oil will come leaking out of there unless you have some kind of cap over that. But you know, if you use this as a water smoker, or if you just want to drain the grease out, it's nice to have a little ball valve. You can stick a bucket or something under there, or just pull this out over the grass, pop that valve open, let all the grease drain out, let all the water drain out, and basically cleaning your pit. So that's pretty cool. All right, when you're looking at the top half, you can see I've got 2 thermometers, one at the firebox, one at the stack. Also opted to get this this counterweight for the lid, which I love. And again, a stay cool handle here on this handle for your lid. But that's what the inside's looking like. And of course over here I've got an opening. I can open and close my my stack. Let me show you the inside of this baby. All right, down here in the bottom, this 24-inch model does come with tuning plates. So I got 4 tuning plates. I kind of got them adjusted according to the instructions that came with the pit. And when you're seasoning this thing, I just spray some cooking spray all on the inside of all of the bare metal and on the inside of the firebox. I did not spray the outside per the instructions. The heat has to soak into the paint and cure the paint before you can put anything on the paint. Let me go ahead and throw in the, I got 2 racks that are the stainless steel. Well, sorry about that, I had to move the camera. Camera tripod's in my way. Alright, so there is one grate. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. And my second grate for the top. It's a little bit smaller, but not much. There we go. Now, as you can see, or maybe you can't, but let me tell you, you don't need to pre-season stainless steel. So I did not put any oil or anything on here. I did wipe them down, but I didn't put anything on them until after the burn-in of the pit. So yesterday morning, or yesterday afternoon, after the pit finished and cooled off, I took the grates out, since they're stainless steel, and I hosed them down and just put a little bit of, just a thin layer of stainless steel cleaner on there, and just kind of went over them with a damp rag, and that's what you're seeing here. So I'm sure they will tarnish more and get this burnt color, brownish bronze color over time. And I did the same thing for the stainless steel cooking grate that's for the firebox as well. Well folks, I'm ready to go fire this thing up and let's see if we can cook us some chicken on it and see how it turns out. Alright, I'm going to leave this door cracked just a little bit. I'm going to open my fire damper down here all the way, and here in about 5 minutes I'm going to come back. I'm going to leave this open for about I don't know, about 3 inches or so. Need to level this thing, I guess. But anyway, I'm going to leave this door open until the wood catches fire. And see if I can bring it up here. And once the wood catches fire, at that point, we're going to try to maintain about 225, 250. I don't want to go above 250 because I'm still not sure that paint's cured all the way, you know what I mean? So we're just going to try to keep below 250 if I can. Hopefully I got those tuning plates adjusted right. Otherwise, we may need to adjust those too. Stay tuned. It's been about 2 hours and I finally got my pit up to about 250, which is where I wanted it. Let's throw on some chicken. What do you say? The rub I'm using today is a Bald Buck. Y'all seen me use this stuff before. I really like his spicy one. It's this is the bold taste. It doesn't have the cayenne and stuff in it. This is some of the best rub for chicken that I've ever found, man. Get you some of this Bald Buck, bro. I'm telling you, good stuff. And if you like it a little spicy, get the one that's a little bit kicked up a little bit with some spice. All right, we're going to go ahead and throw some chicken on. We're going to throw the chicken on this top grate because it is hotter. And I kind of want to crisp that skin up a little bit as best I can without going over 250. So we'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, baby. Sure feels good to be cooking on an offset again. I'll tell you, I missed it for almost a year. I missed it. We got 225 on this temp thermometer and we're riding 200 on this one. But the chicken looks pretty good. I did flip it over about halfway through and let it cook some of the skin a little bit. And we're probing about 162 or something like that, I think. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but 162 right there. This one, I think these ones Yeah, both of these are running about 160. This is 162. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull them because it's getting dark out here. I just wanted to show you what it would do. But man, the chicken looks great. Looks really good. And I'll just let it just chill out here for a little bit. Maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And I'll crack one of these breasts open and we'll show you what it looks like. All right, let's see what we got after a couple hours of cooking. And I did put some of that ball buck seasoning under the skin, as you can see, and the skin is rubbery because I didn't cook it at a real high temp. If you want your skin to be crispy, you need to go like about 325 or so for your cook. I was just looking to see how the meat tastes actually. So let's see what we got. See if I can get me a big hunk of it out of here. Oh yeah, baby. There we go. Boy, it's still hot. Yeah, that's what she looks like too. There you go. Bottom side. Folks, I got to tell you, this is some of the juiciest chicken I've ever had in my life. And I got a spotlight. Every time I move, it's going to go bright. So just bear with it. But hopefully I can see some of that. Hopefully I can see some of that juice in there, man. I mean, it's juicy as all get out. This is my second take on this exit part of the video. So I've already had it. Very nice smoke flavor. You know, for the first cook, I'd say it's okay. It's okay. It's just going to get better the more I cook on it. So I'm expecting that. Very, very juicy though. Very tender, very juicy. Chicken breast, folks. Chicken breast is dry. Not this one. Smoke flavor is just penetrating through. Don't really see a smoke ring, but that's going to come as I get the pit seasoned up, you know. Folks, this is jamming. I've never owned one of these big pits like this, so it's a learning curve for me, and I look forward to seeing how those stainless steel grill grates hold up. So y'all stick with me on that, and I will let you know. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. And I hope you go out and get your Lone Star grill. If you're interested in anything like that or anything I've used in this video, check out the links down below. I'll put all the links down below for you. Just a simple cook. But we got my Lone Star grills, 24 by 40, fired up. We've got it seasoned. We've got the paint cured. And it cooks some damn fine chicken, I'll tell you. Folks, if y'all enjoy this kind of stuff, y'all give me some thumbs up. Hope you share the video. When you do, please tell all your friends that T-Roy cooks responsibly. Cheers, everybody. We'll see y'all next time.